guys, and welcome back to another video. So on today's video we are going to talk about a matter that many people have trouble with, especially people that don't have many of those, and they don't know what to do or what to focus on buying for them. So today we're going to talk about a little bit of weapons, and most importantly we're going to talk about weapon reforge. So weapon reforge is a way to increase your weapon stats according to your liking. Every weapon has different attributes that it can give from its random attribute tree, and better the quality of the weapon, the more random attributes it can provide, and of course the red quality weapons are also going to give you base attack for your troop types. So let's go to the lowest tier that you're going to use. You're not going to use any green weapons. The worst case scenario I think for a weapon to be used is on 4-star blue. I think this is where you should use a blue weapon, otherwise I find them completely useless, since a similar weapon on purple quality is much better, since it can provide a third random attribute slot. So on the blue quality, the reforge is pretty straightforward. It's 2 stones for each reforge, and you can only get 2 random attributes at max. If you click on the exclamation mark on the top right, you can get for the random attribute list here the max value that it can provide. Since this is an infantry weapon, it can provide with infantry stats, so infantry attack, defense and health, as well as total stats as total attack, total defense and total health. And of course every weapon, doesn't matter what quality is or which troop type is focused on, it's going to give you reductions on health. So for this weapon, since it's blue quality, the max is going to be 12% on infantry health, as well as cavalry, spearmen and bowmen health. So as I said, the cheapest of all here, 2 per spin, but I would suggest not to spend much on the blue weapons, since they're going to be less and less effective as you're going on. Next up we're going to be the purple tier. On the purple tier of weapons, I will see most people having those, since the gold weapons are a bit luck based in order to get them from the mine. So focusing on purple weapons and get them to 4-star is going to be a good choice, since it's going to give you a good amount of stats, and the random attributes max tier is really good as well. Let's take for example my infantry scroll here, which is 4-star, and if we go to the reforge, each reforge is going to be 4 stones to do it, and the max attributes that you can get, the value of them is going to be higher than the blue ones. So here we're going to have a total of 12% from infantry attack, for example, 80% for defense and health, compared to if you go to a blue weapon, this was 4% lower than the purple. And this is going to be the case for all the weapons going forward. You're going to have less and less value from the random attributes the lower you go on the quality of the weapon. So on the purple quality, you're going to have max 3 random attributes, and on the purple quality as well, you're going to have the 3 random attributes, as I said, compared to the red weapon, which is 4. But here you still don't unlock the base attack, of course, which is going to be only available on the red tier. So as I said, purple weapons really good, especially if you manage to get some 4-star. You should be able to do it pretty quickly if you're doing the mines all the time. Moving on, to the gold quality, and I think personally that the gold quality is one of more hard. I think the red quality is easier to obtain at some point from the gold quality, since some red quality weapons can be easily obtained, getting fragments for them from the mine and the boxes there. The gold quality are really luck based, dropping from the mines and also from weapon chests, from uncommon to legendary, as you're going to see. But I haven't been that lucky with the weapon drops for the gold quality ones. So the gold quality ones are going to be just slightly better than the purple quality. Obviously you're going to get more max attributes for the infantry attack, for example, defense and health. This is going to be exactly the same for other troop types, just the difference is going to be on infantry, the base troop type. The gold quality weapons also provide with the counter ratio for your troop type. So for the infantry, the cover is going to be the counter of infantry, so you're going to get a reduced enemy cavalry versus allied infantry damage. This is going to reduce the base ratio of 200% by 6.4, for example here, and they're going to add the bowman versus infantry as well here. This doesn't have a counter ratio, so it's going to be from 100% down to 93.6 if you get the max attribute here. So if you're going to have the spearman, for example, you're going to get enemy infantry versus spearmen and so on. So it's going to reduce the damage taken from the counter of that troop type, which is really good. But I think most people are going to focus on stats, as I did with mine. So I try to get all stats here for the infantry, for example. Every reforge is going to cost you 10 stones, which is not that big of a deal. And locking one attribute is also going to be not very expensive on 10 shards per locking. If you lock one, it's going to cost more to lock the next one, and obviously doing the more reforges, eventually you're going to get the stats that you like. So let's go to the big and the biggest category, I think. So here we got the red weapons, which are some of the weapons that are going to give you the biggest advantage in the game, since every red weapon is connected to one commander, and it's going to increase the passive attribute of its 4-star ability furthermore. For example, if we go to Needle, it's going to say that it's going to increase the effectiveness of Valar Morghulis, the 4-star ability of Arya Stark. The most important thing that we should talk about here on the red weapons, since every red weapon is different for each commander, and we don't have 3 hours of talking for each weapon, and we're going to talk about the stats and the reforge cost for each weapon. Since some weapons require more stones to reroll than others. So some of the base weapons for your troop type, like the Oath, the Needle for example, the Seg's new weapon, Hammer of Calamity, the Spear for Arslan, or the weapon for Gorel, all those are considered like base tier red weapons. Those base tier red weapons are going to cost you 40 stones per reroll. Yes, I know that's a lot. 40 stones per reroll is going to be a big number, but there's going to be an even bigger one. So the red weapons are considered the troop type, passive stats, and total attack ones. These are the three main categories for them. So let's go for the troop type. So if we talk about again for needle, for example, since it's going to be an infantry weapon, going on the Reforge and the attribute, the random attribute page here, you're going to see a new stat coming up, which is going to be the infantry base attack, which is exactly infantry base attack. So let's say that the tier 4 troop is going to have 100 infantry attack. This weapon is going to add the attack there, so if you get the max, for example for needle, is going to be 10. So from 10 you're going to go up to 110, which is essentially a 10% increase in damage output for your infantry, which I think is the biggest buff that you can give your troop type on the recent years, I think. A 10% of infantry attack isn't exactly a 10 base attack for your infantry, since the percentage is going to be added after the infantry base attack is added. So the more and more infantry, cavalry, spearmen or bowmen base attack you're going to have, it's going to increase further the effectiveness of your percentage base for your attack for your troop type. This Reforge, as I said, is 40 per spin. The same is going to be for Seg, or the same is going to be for the Snow Wolf, for example. All those, since are considered base red weapons, is going to be the cheapest of all to reroll at 40 shards per spin. Another category is going to be the passive collection bonus weapons that we have in the game. Currently we got the Heart Seeker. Other weapons that we have in this category, for example, is going to be the Raymond axe, the ancient axe here, which is going to give you gold production, and for example Heartseeker is going to give you research gathering speed. So these weapons are going to be passive, and they're going to provide you with 4 random attributes, but their attribute list is going to be really weak. For example, let's say for the Heartseeker is going to be max 4% infantry attack, but this weapon is going to give you those stats just by having it on one commander. So this is really good, since passive stats are the best ones to get, and you don't need to move this commander to a specific formation in order to increase your stats. Next up is going to be the mid tier commander weapons. For example, here we got the Pearl Steer that we have for Leanna, but there are other weapons like the Enzo weapon, the Latch weapon. These are considered mid tier ones, and as you're going to see, the increase in cost is going to be almost 2.5 times. So it's Reforge is going to cost you 100 stones, and of course with the added cost you got an added benefit as well, and the base attack here is going to go up to 11 for your troop type. For this occasion it's going to be cavalry, but as I said, every troop type is going to have the exact same random attribute list. Next up we're going to talk about the total attack weapons, and those are, I think, the bane of existence of every player, since in order to reforge them, the base cost is going to be 100, but you're going to draw out of a pool of every troop type available. So most people are going to go on the attribute selection and select the troop type that they want. Selecting the troop type that you want is going to increase the reforge cost by 150, so it's going to go up to 250 stones per reroll, which is going to be huge in my opinion, and one of the most expensive weapons to reroll. They're going to be slightly better from the mid-tier weapons from the lower tier weapons and the mid-tier ones, but the cost for each reroll is really significant, and of course I would suggest to let those weapons for last after you get all the stats that you need from the other cheaper ones, because if you consider that rolling one time the any weapon is going to cost you about 8 times as much to reroll the needle, for example, or the snow wolf, I would suggest you to stay to the lower tier of red weapons, since they are easier to unlock, and if you are that lucky and go up to 10 base attack, I doubt that 11 base attack is going to be that easy to achieve, especially for 250 stones per spin. So I think that's about covers the Reforge for its weapon and its tier. There are many ways to get some Reforge, or the weapon shop is one of those. You can get up to 100 by selling your useless weapons, the green tier weapons. Another great way is to kill the alliance boss. As you're going to see here, going for the alliance boss is going to give you weapon reforge ores. The alliance boss level is going to increase the reward that you're going to get, and for hours, for example, on the nightmare difficulty, we're going to get a total of 1400 reforge ore, which is about 125 black diamonds with discount, even more without discount. There is a pack, the Reforge pack. I think it comes every Tuesday, and it's going to give you a good amount of reroll ores and some locking ores as well. Getting some commander weapons, as the mighty sights here, for example, is going to give you some extra weapon reforge ores, and most importantly, some weapon locking ores. So it's a slow process in order to get the reforge and locking ores that you need, but if you do it cleverly, going from the bottom to top tier weapons, I think that with a little bit of luck as well, you're going to get the stats that you're going to need, and most likely you're going to get some base attributes for your troop types, especially the base attack of your troop types. So thanks for watching, guys, and I see you on the next one.
I'm waiting and always hesitating. Kryptonite desires set my heart afire. Heart on fire. Set my heart afire.